Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing well. So this is the last part of the tutorial of making these garden journals. So I'm doing a voiceover, so good luck to me. So I'm showing you that I found all these botanical pictures and I've stuck them onto some backing paper just to make them a little more sturdy because I want to make a couple of pockets and a flip out. So yeah, I just found pictures that appealed to me that are around the sizes that I wanted for my pockets and my flip. So this first one I've made into a pocket and I've just corner rounded the two top edges there. So it will fit down the bottom of a page like that in my journal. And that one's going to be another pocket. I haven't corner rounded it yet. And then one of these big pictures will be a flip out. So I'm just going to cut these down now. I did a whole heap because of course I'm doing a whole heap of journals. So I've got two pictures there for two flips that I'm going to cut out, but I'll only use one flip in this journal. So for each journal I'm doing two of these pockets and one flip out. So yes, it's been quite a big process doing all of these journals. But I have enjoyed it. They are quite basic, but it's still been a pile of work. So I'll be glad to have them finished, finally. So I'm just trimming off the rough edges because my cutter needs a better blade in it. After all the cutting I've been doing with these journals, it's getting a bit rough. So I'm just kind of rounding the left-hand corners on both of them because they are going to sit on a right-hand page and flip open to the right, which you'll see when I add them to the page. So I'm just trying to decide which one I will want in this journal. So I'm having a look at the pockets I've got and the cover of the journal and sort of just having a look at the feel of it all. And I decide on the one that's got the irises on the front and think that will go nicely with the other bits and pieces. I don't want it to all be the same, but I want the colours to go together nicely. So I decide just to corner round the left-hand top of this journal card because it will sit on a right-hand page. Over in the right hand corner too. So now I've decided to cover this, the writing on this page. A lot of the pages I've got are recycled. Some of them came out of some learning resources and I don't want the text on there. So I'm just covering it over with the botanical page. Not every journal had writing in it like this, but some of them do. So I just decided to find a pretty picture and just cut it down, corner round and stick it on there. Initially I was going to make it into a pocket, but then I decided there's probably enough pockets in there and I didn't want to embellish these too much or put too many pockets or anything in. I didn't put any tags in. Yeah, I just thought I want the recipient to be able to do that for themselves. So while I was flicking through, I noticed there was a bit of a rough page here from when I cut down the papers. So I just trimmed that down. Now, some of the papers are still a little rough and they might be a bit crooked for my trimming, but I really didn't care. These are just slapped together journals that I made. This is the way I like to make my own personal journals. I like a lot of space to do things in and I like them being a bit scrappy. So I decide that this is the page that I want my flip out on. So I'm just lining it up where I want it here. And then I remember that I probably want to sew around the edges of my flip and my pocket. So I go off and I do a straight stitch around all of the pieces there. And then I just trim down all the hanging threads. So I've sped it up for you most of this video. Just because I'm doing a voiceover, I'd run out of things to say if I left it on. And I take so long to decide stuff. I'm terrible. So I'm going through my scrap tea-dyed paper just to find a piece for a hinge for my flip out here. And I'm just measuring it up to around about the same length as my flip out. And probably about 1 inch wide. Just trimming down the rough edges as usual. And then I just fold it in half and that creates the hinge. So I'll glue one side of that to the inside of my flip out. And then of course the other side of it will be glued to the page. And that enables it to open like a page. Just adds a bit of interest and a bit more writing space. So I put the greaseproof paper there so I don't glue the pages together or get it all over my mat. I grabbed some washi tape for these as well, just to create a bit of a hinge on the outside as well. Adds a bit of decoration, but also just adds that bit of extra hinge. I added some of my stick glue to the washi just to ensure that it sticks. So once that's done, I go figuring out where I want to put my pocket pieces. I just look at what pages I've got and where I think it looks good, and they tend to look quite nice next to coloured pages. So this one had a bit of yellow on it, so I put it in next to the yellow page. Just stick it down on the 3 edges so something can be tucked into it. Then my other pocket, as I said, I wanted to put it on one of the right-hand pages, so it's open to the left there. And I just stick that down on the bottom and the right-hand side there, so it can be tucked into. And then I just snip off the top part of this side of the paper bag, and that means that a tag or a piece of paper can be slipped into the top of it there, just a bit different. And then so that someone knows something can be slipped in there, I put a little thumb notch. I just slipped a bit of cardstock in there so I could cut the thumb notch a bit easier. Now I have this junk mail envelope there, and that has a bit of text on it too, which I wanted to cover up. So I'm just measuring up how big it is so I can cut a few pieces out of this botanical paper to cover the 2 pieces of the envelope that I want to cover. The back side of the envelope is plain, so that's fine. That doesn't bother me, but I just want to cover up the text. So yeah, I cut out the 2 pieces of this beautiful page. Unfortunately, they're both about the same size on this envelope, so I'll cover up this side. Don't mind if you see my hair. I look like a skunk at the moment because I've got a bit of regrowth going on. I need to dye my hair again. So I'm doing the other side of the envelope here. I just use my bone folder to sort of tuck it down there in the edge. And then I think that is it for the decoration. So not much decoration in this journal. I did want to keep it quite basic. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. And stay tuned because I will have a quick flip through of all the journals coming up soon. So take care of yourselves, be good, and I will see you again soon. Bye.